Hello and welcome to another exciting Breakfast with Unity. I'm your host, Max Moreau, and we're going to be making a 3D dice roller this morning. So, what do we got? Unity, let's open the thingy. So, what are we doing today? We're going to create a new folder. We're going to get it all set up here. Create folder 50. Where are we at? 55. 55. 3D dice. Yeah, 3D dice roller. I don't like the fact that 553 is what ended up being there. Dice roller 3D. So, what are we going to do? We're going to save this scene because we're going to be starting fresh on this one. And just throw it in here. We're just going to call it Dice Roller 3D. Save. And let's see what we can do here. So our dice roller is going to be very simple. We're going to have a cube and we're going to kick it around. So let's get the cube kicking action working real quick first. So we're going to need a cube and we're going to need a little area for it to kick around in. So I'm going to create a plane to represent the floor. And we're going to go ahead and move. We're going to put a light in the scene. And we're going to move the cube to be up just a little bit. 0.5. Whoops, no. 0. 0.5 and 0. And we're going to change the camera's settings here. I'm going to point it down 90 degrees downward. And we're going to move it to, I don't know, 4 up, somewhere in there. And let's hit play and see what we can see. And we probably can't see anything because the cube probably is obscuring with the background real nicely. Yes, it is. All right, so I think that's what's happening. Yeah, that's what it looks like. So let's fix that up real quick. Let's give a material to, let's just do like, let's make it really garish right now. Create material green and create material red. I might texture some stuff later, but don't hold your breath. Actually, we will be doing a little bit of color work, not color work, but quote unquote Photoshop work in Pixelmator. Mostly just to make this to make the pips look a little bit cooler than where they would have to. So if we go to the game now, yay, that looks real terrible. We need texture. We're just going to live with it for right now, though. We just want to make sure that this is working. So what are we doing? We're going to go ahead and create a, what do we want? 3D object. We're going to create a few more cubes. And what these are going to be is these are going to be our colliders to keep the die in the area. So let's just make this like 10 by 10, whoops, 10 by, wait, that is what I wanted, 10 by 5, we'll move this up 2.5, and then we're just going to duplicate this and put this all around, so I don't know why I have slightly offset. So 5, we'll put this one at 0 and 5, whoops, 0 and -5. We're going to duplicate it one more time. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees and move it in. I guess we'll just do it by the same amounts. Duplicate one more time. And then we need one for the top. So let's duplicate, and we're going to change this one to be 1 and 10, and we throw it at 0, 5, 0. All right, so now we've got a box here, but we can't see into it. So the way that we can solve that, where is our camera first? Let's see where the main camera actually is. Alright, let's pull the main camera back to about 5. Yeah, that'll do nicely. So what we're going to do is, actually I guess we don't even need to make these transparent, but I'm going to do it anyway, just in case you wanted to just kick it around a lot and have it look like it's bound. So all we're going to do is we're just going to remove the mesh renders on these objects. And so now we still have the colliders, but the mesh render is there, not there. I'm going to go ahead and create an empty game object. We're going to call this dice container. And we're going to put all of our stuff in there. All of those. And might as well put the plane in there as well. The plane I'm going to, just for safety's sake, we're going to change it from a mesh collider. We're going to remove that and instead do a physics box collider. And if we do this, it creates this really thin collider that doesn't always work. So I'm going to make the collider 1 thick and offset by negative 0.5. And that way the surface of the area is the stopping point, and then we have this extra buffer here, so for the physics system to figure things out. And finally, we're going to go on our cube, we're going to call it a die, and we're going to, what is this called? We've currently got no rigid body on it, so we're going to add a physics rigid body. We want gravity, we're going to be using this like a physical object, so that's good. Alright, so let's kick this thing. Create C# script. We might have to make this a 2-parter, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to call this apply force in random direction. And this is actually going to be a very simple script. And we're just going to public float force amount equals 10.0f public float public force mode and do we need anything else here? No, this will be fine. Oh yeah, let's do it on a button. Public float public string button name equals fire1, and we don't need to start. We're just going to in update do, actually yeah, in update we'll do if input.get button down button name so we've pressed the button. All we have to do is do rigid body dot add force, and we're going to do random dot rotation. No, that's not what we want. Random dot inside unit sphere, inside unit circle, on unit sphere. On unit sphere is what we want. On unit sphere. We could vary the amount of force too by doing inside unit sphere. So it's really try both ways, but we're just going to do it with on unit sphere for the example. And we're going to hit save. Oh, and we need to actually multiply this by our force amount. We don't need to do time.delta time because that's already handled for us in rigid body calculations. So we're going to put this on our die, and let's hit play. And in theory, if we hit control, it'll kick it a little bit. It doesn't look like it's kicking it very much. I'm going to make it a velocity change, so it'll kick it a lot more. Alright. And let's go ahead and increase the force amount a lot. We may have to actually add some angular kicking as well. Let's see what this does though. Oh, I think I kicked it out of the area. So let's also apply force in random direction. Okay, well we'll just keep the name for right now, even though we're going to be adding angular public float angular force equals 10.0 F. So rigid body dot add force, random on unit sphere. All right, rigid body dot add torque. And we're going to do the arc. We'll call it angular torque. I don't know if that doesn't make. Let's just call it torque amount. Trying to be accurate. Add torque, and we're going to just do the same thing, but with torque amount. Oops, on unit sphere, torque amount. Save. Alright, so now if we unexpected symbol, what do we do? I probably missed a semicolon somewhere. Let's quit this thing. There's my semicolon missed, and got a couple things missed on that one. Save, play. So let's go back to the die. Let's make it so it's not 100, or it wasn't 100. Let's keep it on velocity change, but let's like 5 and 5, and hit play. Not sure how well this is gonna work. All right, that's not enough. Let's do 20 and 50. There we go. That kind of looks like a die rolling. Let's bring in our edges a little bit so that it fits within the scene. Let's just move the camera back for right now. We're just gonna move it back to 10. No, 8, 7. There we go. Sounds good. So we're going to kick this die around. There we go. Let's roll in a die. Alright, so now we need to know which side it's on. And we want to actually have that visually displayed both in the... yeah, it really likes to go off screen, doesn't it? I am going to bring these top and bottom ones in a little bit. Let's bring them in to 3.5 and 3.5. Now if we hit play, it should stay in frame a bit better. Cool. We can kick it as much as we want while it's in there, which probably means we can get it out of the level eventually, but it seems like it's working pretty well. So, there we go. Let's save what we got. Save project. And let's go ahead and make some pits real quick. We're going to go into Pixelmator, or whatever your favorite image editing program is. We probably don't need this higher resolution. We can probably get away with, honestly, 64 would probably be enough. But I'm going to do 256. Nah, let's do 64. 128. Split the difference. It doesn't really matter. It's just a pip, right? So, whoops. New. Let's actually do that on both axes. Alright, yeah, that'll be fine. And what we're going to do is we're just going to basically, it's going to be very similar to like the default particle what we're making here. We're going to grab a gradient. Where's my gradient window? View. Show hide gradients. Oh, it was right there. Show gradients. Sometimes I have to like remove something to even see it. So, so we want a radial. There we go. So this is our radial gradient here. We're going to make this just. So we're going to make. First, we're just going to make a circle. Actually, we're just going to make a dark circle. How will I do that? It'll be simple. We'll just grab this tool thing here, put it in the corner, and drag it out with the shift button. There we go. And we're just going to fill this with black. So this is going to be, actually no. Scratch that. We're going to fill it with white so we can color it in the editor. So we fill it with white. I'm just going to do it a few times just to make sure. And we're going to deselect, and this one's going to be our, we're going to export this. This is going to be our die pit, which sounds like something you would say to the main character of And It's Morning. Kid Icarus. Yeah, that was a joke, but it was killed. I killed it thoroughly. So, and not in the good way. So we're going to go back to the layer. I'm just going to disable background layer just in case we need that later. And we're going to go to our thingy. And this one we're going to do a little bit differently. We're going to make it from black to white, a gradient. And we're going to just go ahead and I'm going to make it more black than white. And we're going to move it to about the center here, which would be 64 by 64. So when I said about, I'm going to make it exactly. And that totally didn't make it. Oh, because we're doing it on the background layer. Somehow it allows us to edit invisible layers, but that's okay. We won't fault it. And we'll just take it 127 to 64. There we go. And we're going to save this as die pit height map. This is not a normal map, this is a height map. We're going to turn it into a normal map using Unity, and actually we didn't save it out as a export PNG. There we go. So we're going to grab both these things. We're going to grab die pit height map and die pit and put it into here. And for die pit, we're going to say it is alpha from grayscale, because it is. Except for it's not. Wait, why didn't it? Oh, wait, no, alpha is transparency, not alpha from grayscale. There we go. And die pit height map, we're going to change the mode to normal map. And create from grayscale is already applied to us, so we just do that. That doesn't look very good, does it? We'll see how it works. It'll look like a bad printed. Let's just keep it deep for now. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we are going to put a pit together. So we're going to create just a 3D object. We want a quad. We're going to create a new material called create material die pit. And this material is going to be a fancy one. We're going to make it a bumped, actually transparent, bumped diffuse. Real fun stuff. So there we go. And we're going to apply this to our die pit. I'll call this die pit. And let's actually look at what we've got for the texture. So we need to give it a base RGB. We're going to give it die pit. That gives us our circle. And we're going to give it a height map. And that gives us some depth, kind of. It doesn't look good right now because it's so flat. But when we put it on the object and start rotating it around, and actually it probably might not look good because I don't like that banding that it has. But you'll see that it has kind of this pseudo depth. It's not real depth, as you can see, but it gives the illusion of it. So there we go. So now I just have to apply these to the die on the various faces. Considering it's been 18 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and save what we've got for now, and we're going to make this a two-parter. So we'll finish this up on Monday. Apologize for the two-parterness, but evidently it takes a little bit longer to set this up than I thought it did. So thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully you had a great night last night, and you'll have a great weekend this weekend. And I will catch you on Monday. Also, I'm going to go ahead and give a plug to Orange Lounge Radio. They have their show on Sunday. You should check it out. Loki watches this show a lot. They're not paying me to do this. I just am throwing you guys their direction because the Vlog Jam was fun, and those guys are cool. So, and Loki OLR. Sometimes it's in channel. He's from there. He's one of the talking heads on that show. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's a lot of fun. They talk about a variety of game related stuff. So you guys have a great one, and I will. That show's at 6 p.m. and it goes on for like 3 hours on Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings or Pacific Standard Time, probably right now. So anyway. Have a great one. Oh yeah, donate to Cooking with Unity. Patreon.com/CookingWithUnity. Patronize us. Yeah. All right. Have a good one.